Here's a little background on me. I live in a 1-bedroom apartment in Miami. My husband, he works for the National Hurricane Center. Say hi, Matt.
Hello.
He's also a Michigan alum.
Go Blue.
And we have a 2-year-old. So if you see toys in the background, they are hers, probably. My name's Lisa Bucci. I didn't know what I wanted to study. So I took a tour of all the different departments. And while I was touring, I saw a presentation by Dr. Perry Sampson, and he was talking about meteorology and atmospheric science. And I had always been interested in the weather, but I always thought that meteorologists were just TV meteorologists. Because that's what everybody said, like, oh, you want to be a meteorologist? You want to be on TV? And I was like, no.
Not really.
Because I didn't want to talk to anyone. I graduated. I got a master's degree in meteorology from Florida State University, and I applied for a job in Miami with NOAA, the National Oceanographic and Atmospheric Administration. It turns out that the job that I was applying for, I thought I was going to be like a programming meteorologist, so combining my meteorology background and my engineering background. And it turns out that they also fly into hurricanes. So I applied to be a programming meteorologist and became a hurricane hunter.
Or like, is it a very risky situation, or is it more so it's very calculated and so it's not really too high risk?
Yeah, no, I'm not that much of an adrenaline junkie. The majority of my time I spend in front of a computer. I'm studying data that we've collected. We run weather models, and we get on these aircraft. There's a P3 and a G4, so that there's a jet and then a plane, like a big 4-propeller engine plane. We fly into or around hurricanes to collect observations, and we use these planes kind of like our laboratories. We have a few instruments that we always fly into the storm, a couple radars, and the big one is this radar that sits at the back of our plane. It's called the tail Doppler radar, and so it's sort of like one that would be on the ground, except we have it at the back of our plane, and it's scanning, and it's kind of giving this like CAT scan of the hurricane. So you get a picture of like where all the rain is happening, and with that we can tell what the winds are. My first really big storm was Hurricane Sandy. So that was kind of crazy because, you know, we're out there collecting data, we're sending it off, it's headed up the East Coast towards, you know, New Jersey and New York.
Yeah.
And at one point, the pilots came over at the headset and they were like, hey, if you get a chance, if you see a ship, we got to report that a ship is sinking. So if you see it, just let us know. And I was like, wait, what? Somebody's out here right now? Like, so I didn't see anything, but they used our data to help find them, which is pretty crazy. Wow. Since then, I've flown into Hurricane Matthew. Hurricane Irma was a really big one. And then the strongest storm that I've flown in was Hurricane Lane. So it was a Category 5 that was approaching Hawaii. And that was like the craziest storm I've ever seen. We can't totally automate this process, so we have actual meteorologists looking at the data, making sure that everything is correct, and taking out any bad data that we don't want sent off the plane. Our data is public. Anybody can look at it. Like, you can go on a website and look at our data. Friends, like, message me while I'm on the plane, being like, I can see your data coming in.
That is so cool. How did the classes you took or the experiences that you took advantage of while at Michigan kind of prepare you or maybe not prepare you for what you're currently doing?
Like, the classes were great. The professors were really well connected, so they helped connect me with people in my future careers, right? They helped like give me opportunities to try small, research projects. Part of the reason that I really started to fall into love with field work is because we had a summer program. We teamed up with Texas Tech University, and they took us storm chasing for tornadoes. So that's kind of where I fell in love with field work. And, that all happened at Michigan. So I got to actually see the weather that we were studying in the classroom in front of me and develop. And they could, point out all the different aspects of what was happening and why it was happening and why maybe one storm would form and one wouldn't. And I was like, wow, this is really cool. We should do this all the time.
Is there any message specific to women in engineering that you'd like to provide or highlight?
Yeah, Stick with it. We need you. I need you to come join me in the workforce. Like, please. You bring a new perspective, right? And that's what's really important about science. You need to keep looking at it from different perspectives. So you have a unique perspective, and we need to know what it is so we can keep getting better at what we're trying to do, which in my case is forecasting hurricanes.